G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and I wanted to share with you my thoughts, experience, lessons learnt on growing edamame here in our own backyard garden. Let's get into it. I initially tried edamame, or you could say edamame if you say it the way it's spelt, at a Japanese restaurant just north of us up at the Sunshine Coast at Mooloolaba. It was called Spice Bar, a really nice little joint. Edamame are basically immature soya beans that are either steamed or boiled in the shell. They were served as a side on that occasion, but they are commonly served in a bowl on their own to eat. And we really enjoyed the taste of them and found it pretty novel as you squeeze the shell and pop them into your mouth. They reminded me of boiled peanuts, only edamame are much easier to shell. In fact, you simply gently press the soft seed pod and the seeds inside pop out straight into your mouth if you want. I said at the time to Nina and the boys, I wouldn't mind having a crack at growing some of these because they are really bloody nice. And it was such a simple and healthy but tasty dish. And this is what I really love doing, going out, finding new and interesting food, and then bringing those ideas back home, trying to grow them in the backyard and reproducing that, on our own dinner plates. It's really satisfying and an enjoyable, fascinating process for me. But then it wasn't until our trip to the USA last year when I was reminded about growing edamame when we purchased some for a quick healthy snack at LA Airport as we were waiting in the departure lounge. So I got back home, purchased some seed and was really keen to give them a go. I didn't do much research on growing them. I knew that they were obviously a legume native to East Asia, and I had read that they grew well in hot climates. So I decided to grow some through summer here, and to my delight, they grew really well. I sowed the plants in rows close together, about 4 inches apart on average, in one of our raised beds, and most seeds germinated. This was a nice surprise because I was worried that I might have sowed the seed a little too late into the growing season, and even though they don't mind hot climates, it may have been too hot still for good germination. Over the coming weeks, I kept the plants well watered and noticed they started flowering quite young. Beautiful pea-like flowers, but very tiny. The plants grew to about 1.5 feet high. They didn't need staking or support and were looking healthy with good pod development. Then the plant growth and pod development suddenly slowed down, right at a time when I expected the pods to start swelling and be ready for harvest. What had happened was the soya plants contracted rust disease, which I later found out was a common and mortal enemy of the soybean plant. Initially, I didn't worry about some brown blemishes or dieback on a few leaves because that's normal in an organic garden like ours, but it turns out that not acting early probably cost us a good harvest. By the time I realised the crop was failing, it was too late to act because rust had taken over the plant so much that no amount of eco-fungicide would have helped at all. However, not all was lost because although many of the pods didn't develop fully, some did and others were still fine to harvest smaller than usual. And being a legume, the roots naturally fix nitrogen into the soil, so these are a great crop to plant before you grow something else. Like we're coming into the cooler season now, brassicas, cauliflower, cabbage, lettuce, all those types of crops will go good in this bed. So I think that's what I'll replace the soybeans with. So we were able to get several good feeds out of our edamame crop, and to me, that's not a failure. Next time I'll spray with a safe organic fungicide so that hopefully this won't happen again, and I'll use it like a preventative tool to improve pod size and increase plant growth overall and have a happier plant. I have left several of the best plants grow on for seed collection so we can grow them again next season. This time I'll grow more because I'll have more seed, and I will start them earlier in spring and see if they grow better. Maybe next year I can grow a ton of edamame. One last thing. Now, I am a YouTuber and I don't live under a rock, so I'm well aware of the memes and the culture wars going on about eating soy and the derogatory terms like soy boy, etc., from eating too much soy. So please don't flood the comment section down below with all these terms thinking old farts here isn't going to understand what it's all about, because if soy makes you skinny and weak, then I'm obviously not eating enough of it. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe if you haven't already. Bye for now. Edamame. Why is that so hard for me to remember to say? Edamame. 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 Edamame.